Guys, quick question. Which new player or players do you want to see and collapse to the national team ahead of the next two games you are going to play in the World Cup 2026 qualifiers? Let me know your answers down below in the comments. In today's video, I want to tell you about 10 players, 10 new players that have not made their official debut with the national team yet. And these 10 players, they need to be considered for a call-up to the national team. Addo, I beg, try and watch this video because these 10 players, they are doing so well with their national team. But before we jump into it, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You are watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it. Today is Friday, and I want to begin with a tip of the weekend or prediction for the weekend. You can see that live here on your screen. Please, I don't play the football, so don't go and put everything on this. Select what you can select. I'm going to make sure to put the code in the pinned comment. So please check the comment for the code for all this game. Last week was good. 12 games out of 12 games was successful. This week, we pray is also good. So guys, tip of the weekend, this is my predictions. Now quickly, let's jump into business. The Black Stars of Ghana, the national team, is going to play 2 games in September in the World Cup 2026 qualifiers. One against Chad and another one against Mali. Look, our one leg is already at the World Cup. We want to send the second leg there and cement our position at the World Cup 2026. But the truth of the matter is, players who regularly end collapse to the Black Stars, some of them are not performing well with their club side. Do you think those players should be called back again to the national team? No. I believe new players who are doing so well with their club side should end a call-up. Players who are putting in effort, hoping that Otto will recognize them, should be considered. And I'm here to tell you about 10 players who are doing so well and have surprised me. If I miss any player, please let me know that down below in the comments. So guys, quickly, let's jump into it and begin with player number 1. Player number 1 for me would be Taleb Jireni, who plays for Northern. We all saw him when the Black Stars played in the Unity Cup game, that friendly game. He wowed everyone. But that is not an official game. That is why I'm including him into the new players that should be considered by Addo. A midfielder who plays in the midfield for Northern came into the Black Stars and played as a fullback and took that position as if he owned it. Everybody was wowed. First game, he played extremely well. Second game against Trinidad and Tobago, he was the talk of town. So I will be surprised if Addo does not hand him a call-up. Even if you are not going to hand him, at least consider him. I think he's my player number 1, Taleb Jireni. Player number 2, Mohammed Fuseini, who plays for USG. Look, last season, this player played 33 games, scored 9 goals and provided 1 assist in the league. That earned him a call-up to the national team, the Black Stars. He also featured in the Unity Cup game, that friendly game. Once again, that is not an official game, so I'm not even including it as an official debut for the player. I want to see him play an official game for the Black Stars, and that could be the World Cup qualifiers. Mohammed Fuseini is that guy. Did you see the goal he scored against Trinidad and Tobago? Nice goal, Sunny. Nice goal by all standard. And that is what we want. Players who come into the team and impact the team. So, player number 2 for me, new players that should be considered or that should end call-up to the national team should be Mohammed Fuseini. Player number 3, Christopher Baah, also part of the squad that played in the Unity Cup game. That is not an official game. That was a friendly game. So I don't want to include it as an official game for the player. In that game, look, this player showed us what he's all about. Even then, he came off a very good season at Genk. At Genk, last season, he played 38 games, scoring 3 goals and providing 4 assists. Currently, he's with Arcadia. His debut game for Arcadia, he provided an assist. But in that same game, he received a red card. Putting that aside, that player, he justified himself in those friendly games we played against Nigeria and also Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Cup game. So if you are looking for a player that has left an indelible mark on Addo's mind, it is Christopher Baah. I hope the coach does not forget him. So that is my player number 3. Let's move on to player number 4. For me, that would be Augustine Boakye, who plays for Saint-Etienne, an attacking midfielder. Look, Augustine Boakye is underrated, especially for the fact that he performs so well for his club side, but then regularly he's been ignored when the call-up is being made. Last season, because of injuries, he played 17 games, but then provided 3 assists. This season, he played 2 games, provided 3 assists, and scored 1 goal. That is excellent for a player. And for me, I think this is what we want. So far, in the French League 2, Augustine Boakye has played 2 games, scored 1 goal, and provided 3 assists. This is a player who was born at Bompata, here in Ghana, played Wafa, so he understands the system. He's a player that has not earned a call-up to the Black Stars. I want to see him. If he's performing well, bring him. So far, 2 games, 1 goal, 3 assists in the French League 2. Nobody comes close to Augustine Boakye, who plays for Saint-Etienne. Player number 5, kojo, peprah, oppong. Kojo, peprah, oppong. Coach Otto visited him just last weekend. It should tell you what the coach sees in this player. Now, this player is right-footed, a centre-back, and plays very well for OGC. I watched his debut for OGC when they lost to Toulouse by 1-0. And I was like, nah, this guy, he be ball out. He's a very, very, very good player. You know what? Last season, he was playing for Nopken in the Swedish league and played 15 games. If 15 games was enough for OGC to sign this player, it should tell you what the player is all about. So, Otto, if you're naming your squad, at least consider the player. Since you were able to go and visit him, then you know his situation. Consider him. Kojo, peprah, oppong, playing regularly, went to OGC and started commanding his presence and position in the club. So that is one player I think the coach needs to consider. Player number 6, Prince Amaku. Prince Amaku plays for Northern. Now this player, from right to dream to Northern, his first season, he has played 5 games, scored 3 goals, and provided 1 assist. He's just 18 years of age. And if you know anything about players who leave the Right to Dream Academy and join Northern, they turn out to be big stars. Don't let me start naming them. Kudus, Kamaldeen, the list goes on. So don't be surprised at what the boy is already doing. He's doing it in his debut season for Northern. If you want to ginger the boy, be part of his progress, consider him for the national team. He is just 18 years of age, a new player. He has not even played for the Ghana national team before. Prince Amoako, solid player. He's already taken the league by storm. So far, he has played 5 games, scored 3 goals, and provided 1 assist. Now, let's move away from that and talk about the next player. The next player on my list is Ibrahim Sadiq. If you followed the Europa qualification or the Europa Conference League qualification, then you know Ibrahim Sadiq and what it's all about. He plays for AZ Alkmaar. And yesterday, he scored a brilliant goal for AZ Alkmaar in the qualifications. Look, this is a player that I feel has been ignored for quite some time now. A right-to-dream product. As I said for Prince Amaku, same for Ibrahim Sadiq, who has played Ghana under 20, Ghana under 17. He understands the system. So why is he not earning call-up to the national team? Why is he not being considered? Now, let me tell you about his statistics last season. He played 21 games in the league, scored 7 goals, and provided 4 assists. So why is he not being considered? This season so far, he has scored 2 goals. He has played 2 games and scored 1 goal in the league. And also in the ongoing Conference League qualification, he has played 3 games and scored 1 goal. That was the goal he scored yesterday against Levski Sofia. Ibrahim Sadiq is that guy who needs to be considered by the coach. Look, if you're not going to even give him a call-up, at least call him and say, look, I have watched your games. I like your effort. I'm considering you. Probably you might not be in the squad now, but if there is an opening, trust me, I'm going to call you. At least that alone will ginger these players. We are not saying they should all earn a call-up to the national team. At least they should be considered. At least they should have a call from the coach. Let the coach at least appreciate their efforts, the efforts they're putting in for their club side. Next player for me would be Jordan Amissah. Jordan Amissah plays for Burton in the English League One. He's a goalkeeper. He was part of Ghana's under-23 team, but never had a game minutes when they went for the under-23 AFCON. He never played a single game. This player is constantly in the goalpost for Burton in the English League One. If they are able to get promoted, they go to the championship straight. I don't know why this goalkeeper is not being considered or given call-up. But we give call-up to Jojo Wallacott, who plays in English League 2 for Glory Town. Why are we doing that? Why are we ignoring this young player coming up? Why are we doing that? Now listen to me. Last season, he played for Ross County. Ross County last season, he played 22 games, kept 4 clean sheets, took a transfer to Burton, and this season, he has played 3 games and kept 1 clean sheet. A very good goalkeeper we can develop. If you look at our goalkeeping department, it is weak. Very, 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 very weak. So I'm just hoping that the coach recognizes Jordan Amissah and gives him that call-up so that he can make his debut with the national team. We want some sort of competition in the national team, guys. So, guys, that is my player, Jordan Amissah. Now, player number 9, Maxwell woledzi. Maxwell woledzi. I hope I've got the pronunciation right. I'm an error, but if I don't get this pronunciation right, I'm in trouble. Maxwell woledzi, we are still on it. Now, yesterday, in the Conference League qualification, Maxwell woledzi, who plays for Fredrikstad, Norway, played against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace won that game by 1-0, but Maxwell woledzi was one of the highest rated players from Fredrikstad. Look, this player is a right-to-dream player. Played so well in that game. I was impressed. At a point, I didn't even know he was a Ghanaian until I saw his name. I was like, woledzi, number 9 brother. If this boy is not considered, it will pay me, because for him to play at the European game against Crystal Palace, we all know Crystal Palace, who won Community Shield quite recently, the guy stood on his 10 toes and played very well. Last season, let me tell you about this player. Last season, he played 29 games and had an average score of 7.0. This season, he has so far played 18 games. Very reliable player. Also, in yesterday's game, he was rated 7.0. It should tell you what this player is all about. They lost the game, but he was rated 7.0. Maxwell woledzi should be considered. That is based on my own opinion. Last and 10th player, Kwasi Sibo. Kwasi Sibo plays for Real Oviedo in the Spanish La Liga. You all remembered how they got qualification to the Spanish La Liga. He played an immense part of it. Did so well. Even in his debut in the Spanish La Liga, when they played against Villarreal, he was so impactful, played extremely well. And I believe that this is his time. This player has been through a lot, and this is his time. I believe if we are going to give call-up or going to consider a player, Kwasi Sibo is that guy. He has said it on several platforms that he is ready for the national team. He's ready for the Black Stars. He has not even played the Black Stars before. So why don't you reward effort? Why don't you reward players doing well at their national team? Now with Real Oviedo, last season, before they got promoted to the Spanish La Liga, he played 38 games, scoring 1 goal and providing 1 assist. He's a defensive midfielder, or sometimes who plays as a central midfielder. Now this season, he has already played 1 game for Real Oviedo in the Spanish La Liga. That was against Villarreal. Their next game is against Real Madrid. I can't wait to see what this player is all about. And if Addo is in a limbo concerning Kwasi Sibo, then watch him against Real Madrid and make your own judgment. I believe he's going to have a very good game against Real Madrid. So guys, these are 10 players, 10 new players who have not made their official debut with the national team before, who I believe should earn call-ups to the national team ahead of the World Cup 2026 qualifiers we are going to play against Chad and Mali. If there is a player out there that I have not talked about, that I have overlooked, please let me know it down below in the comments, because I'm not going to lie to you. There are so many talented players out there, but what pains us a lot, what pains me a lot, that when the call-ups comes out, you will see some players who normally are regular, names in the starting lineup in the squad, but they don't even do well in that club side. They don't even play. I don't know the criteria that goes into selecting players, but I believe players should be rewarded with their efforts like their efforts they put in at club level. As simple as that. If we can do this, you see that players will put in more effort when they come into the national team. But if we keep on rewarding call-ups to players just because they have played the national team before, we'll be in trouble. I'm telling you, we'll be in trouble. There are good players out there, and these players need to be given that shot at the national team. They need to be considered. I've given you 10 players. I'm going to go through the names very, very quickly. I'm going to start from the first player I mentioned, Taleb Jireni, Northern, solid player. He should be in the squad. Mohammed Fuseini, USG. He should also be in the squad. Ibrahim, Sadiq, solid player. Yesterday we saw his action. I loved it. He should be considered. Christopher Bonsu. He has proven that he can play the Black Stars. So Otto knows what to do. Augustine, boakye, kojo, peprah, oppong, Prince Amaku. We also have Jordan, amissah, Maxwell, woledzi, and also kwasi, sibo. Let me know your thoughts about all this down below in the comments. If there is any player out there, and I repeat, that I've not talked about, that I've overlooked, let me know that down below in the comments. This is where I'm going to end it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go bye.